Alright everyone, welcome back to A Software Engineer Plays, the YouTube channel where a software engineer, that's me, plays through games designed to teach you how to code, explaining kind of my thought process along the way and what I'm doing in the game. So let's go ahead and get started. We're playing Human Resource Machine again here. It'll be part 3 of the series, so let's jump right in. Now, last time we were going through this blue path here, so let's go ahead and jump into level 13 here, the Equalization room. Sometimes some numbers are bigger than other numbers, and sometimes they're the same. How can we know? I read about that here in the great book, Which Number Are You? For the Aspirational Zero. You can borrow it later, oh, that's kind. Ooh, we got a Hello World block. That's cool. So for those of you who don't know, Hello World is kind of a basic program that a lot of people it's the first program that they write, just getting the computer basically to output Hello World. So it's kind of a fun little Easter egg that they threw in there. I'll go ahead and get rid of that, but okay. So what we want to do here is compare two numbers and see if they are equal, and if they are, put one of them in the out, and if they're not, then throw them away. So using the math that we do have, the addition and subtraction, I see that there isn't really an option here to compare two numbers. In a lot of programming languages, you have the ability to determine equality and say, is this number equal to that number? In this case, we don't have that. Okay, so what we do have is a jump if zero block, and we have the add and subtract. So, knowing what we know about numbers, if you have two numbers that are the same, and you take one of those numbers away, you end up with 0, right? So I think what we're going to have to do here is take the first number, take the second number, subtract them, and then check to see if it's 0, the result. So let's go ahead and start writing that out. So we'll get the first number, and we'll store that in slot 0. Then we want to get the second number. So we'll go get the second number, and we want to subtract it from what we stored. So in this case, looking at these first numbers here, we have 6 and 9. We'll store 6, pick up 9 and subtract 6 from it and get 3. So what we want to do here now is we should have 0, right, if we subtracted two similar numbers. So we want to put a jump if 0, and we want to jump then to an outbox command. But otherwise, what we want to do in here is jump back to the top. So this should work, I think. Let's go ahead and step through it and see what happens. So we move in, we're going to pick up the 6, and we're going to store it. Then we're going to go pick up the 9, and we're going to subtract. We end up with 3. That's not 0, so we shouldn't jump to the outbox. We're going to jump back to the top. Go back to the inbox, pick up a 4, store it. Then we're going to go pick up another. In this case, it's a 4. We're going to subtract that 4 from and end up with 0. So now this jump if 0 command should execute. So we're going to skip over the jump. But I'm noticing a problem here right away. So what's going to happen here, we are going to jump to the outbox step, but I'm missing one important command. Can you guess what it is? Well, we'll find out. We're going to move to the outbox, and then... Uh-oh. So, a couple things happened there. First of all, I didn't read carefully enough, because we were supposed to output one of the original numbers, not the 0. The second thing that happened is that we don't have a loop to start the program over again. So instead of just going straight to the outbox, what we want to do instead is pick up what we stored in 0 originally and then move that to the outbox. Because that was a 4 originally, And then what we want to do is add that loop to repeat the program over and over and over again. So we'll move that up there. Now if you step through it, we'll pick up the 5, store 5 in slot 0, pick up the 2, and we will subtract the 5 from it. We'll get -3. Now that's not 0, so we're not going to move down here, but instead we're going to jump way back up to the top and start the whole process over again. So we'll pick up a 5, we'll store it in 0. Funnily enough, there was already a 5 in 0, but that doesn't matter. We'll go back to the inbox, pick up this 5, subtract the 5 that we stored from it, and get 0. So now, because it is 0, we will jump down here, we'll pick up that number that we stored originally, and we'll move that to the outbox. And now they're happy with us. So now we can do that all over again. Let's speed our little man up. There we go. How do we do performance-wise? Use 9 or fewer commands. Okay, we used 9 commands. How are we doing speed? Okay, we used 28 steps. So let's see, what can we do to speed this up? We gotta get one fewer command from it, or one fewer step. So I think, I don't know if these count as steps, but let's find out. I don't think they do, but no, they don't. Okay, so what can we do here? Well, if we pick up from the inbox and then jump here, does that speed up anything? Reorder the commands a little bit. Yep, that's sped it up. Okay, so we did use one extra block, but we did, because we didn't have to step into the top of the program again, we were able to end execution a little bit faster. Okay, so let's move on now to the Maximization room. Alrighty, year 14. There's been a change of plans. The accounting department has determined that treating all numbers equally is no longer profitable. Big numbers only. Okay. So they've given us a new block here, the jump if negative. So we're gonna have to do something similar to what we did last time here. So we want to know, let's read the problem first, grab 2 things and output the bigger of the 2 in the outbox. If they're equal, pick either one. Okay, so let's think. We're going to pick up 2 numbers. So we'll have to start with the inbox here. Then we want to store it in, we'll store it in slot 0, that's fine. So now we want to subtract the next number. So we'll pick up the next number, which is 5, and we will subtract it. So now we can have one of 2 things occur, well, 3 things actually. So it could be that the 5 is bigger than 3, or the second number is bigger than the first number, or the first number is bigger than the second, or they're equal. So if they are negative, that means that the second number was smaller because we subtracted the 3 from the 5. So if it's negative, then we want to do something here. Let's add a comment there. So if, whoa, I need to write with my mouse, that's kind of annoying, but okay, so if we'll call the second number B. So if B is greater than A, is that right? I think it's if A is greater than B. Then the result negative. Pardon my handwriting here and misspellings. So let's just double check that. So Let's just have it jump up to the start there. So what should happen here is if 3 is greater than 5, we should move it to the outbox. That's not the end goal, I'm just double checking that I have my logic in the right order here. Okay. So, yeah, good. So, if A is greater than B, it'll be negative, so we just want to pick up what was A, which means we need to copy from 0 and then move it to the outbox. If that was not the case, then we want to just move straight to the outbox because, actually, let's store a copy of the second number. So we want to copy from 1 here and then move to the outbox. Okay, so we need to keep a record of the value of the number because we need to send the original number out. Okay, so we store the first number and the second number, and then if it's negative, we want to send the first number. If it's not negative, or if it's equal, so this is essentially skipping over the if negative command and doing something else. What we want to do now is make sure that we don't execute this code if it was negative. So we need to jump back to the start there, and then we need to jump back to the start again here. So we'll step through this. I know there's a lot going on here. Let's put this in, let's move this down here. So if A is B, then negative, then jump back to the start. Otherwise, B is greater than A, or B equals A. Okay, so let's step through here. We'll go one step at a time and kind of explain what's happening. I think this should work. We'll pick up the 3, store it in 0. Pick up the second number and store it in 1, and then we'll subtract it from what we stored, the first number here, in 0, and get 0. So 0 is not negative, so we will not do this jump. Instead, we'll move down to the next item, which is to jump all the way down here. So we'll jump all the way down there. So this means that B, the second number, is greater than A, or B equals A. So in this case, B equals A. So we'll just go ahead and pick up, and then we'll outbox, and we'll start the program over. So let's start that again. We'll move to the inbox and pick up 9. Put it in slot 0. We'll pick up negative 8 and put it in slot 1, and now we'll do the subtraction. So we'll end up with 1. So 1 isn't negative, so what we're going to do is we're going to say that yes, B is greater than A, or B equals A in this case. So B, negative 8, is greater than negative 9 because it's closer to 0 on the number line. So we're now going to jump down here. We're going to pick up the negative 8, and we're going to send it out. We're going to start again. So we have 2 equal numbers again here. We pick up the 5 and store it. Pick up the other 5 and store that. So we subtract them. So we're not going to do this jump. Instead, we're going to move down to line 7 here and do this jump. And so since they're equal, we are going to pick up number 1 and send that out. And it's important to note, if we wanted to do something special for the equality case, we could use a jump if 0 block down here and do some additional jumping. There'd just be a whole lot more of these blue arrows all over the place if we did that, and we don't need to. So let's start again. We'll do the last iteration here. We'll store 3 in slot 0, and we'll pick up the 2 and put that in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the number stored in 0, the 3, from the 2. We should get negative 1 here. So this is the first time we're actually going to do this jump. So we're going to skip over that jump that we've been doing all of the other times. This jump here, we're going to skip over it and move into this little section here. So here we are, we skipped over that jump, and now we're going to copy what we stored in 0. We're going to send it to the outbox, and then we're done. So pretty complicated program there. There's a lot going on. Alright. And we have some optimization to do. So, let's think about this. How can we speed this up? Do we need to store both numbers? Let's think through that. No, we don't. And the reason we don't is because if you have one number, let's say you had 5 and you subtract 3 from it, you end up with 2, and then if you add 3 back to it, you get your 5 again. So if you subtract one number and then add that number back, then you end up with the same number. So let's see how we can do that. So we are going to subtract 0, and then we can add 0 back. Okay? Does that make sense? Let's work through this here. So we subtract the 0. Otherwise, then we want to add what's in 0 down here, and that should save us. Did that save us any steps? We took one out and just added another one down here. But let's see if it works. Just for hit 0 and send it out. Try again here. So far, so good. Okay. I think we were still over. Yep. Okay, we hit the number of steps there. So now we gotta prune out two blocks here. So how are we gonna do this? We have to do that part. Let's see, do we have to, well, if we take that out, we're gonna add it in later. I could theoretically save one outbox by having this jump statement jump down to there. How else can we speed this up? We got one extra in here, so let's go through it. Let's look. Okay. Inbox, copy, inbox, subtract. We can't speed that up at all. Jump if negative here. And then we want to jump down here, do the outbox, and start again. Can we do anything here? One of these commands must be unnecessary. Let's see if we can step through it and figure it out here. So good. Store the -9. Pick that up. we're still one off. So let's Well, we have to have the 2 inboxes, and we have to have the 2 outboxes. We need that jump statement there. Okay, let's try moving our jump if negative statement all the way to the bottom. Get rid of that jump. So otherwise, then we don't need this second jump, okay? So now, if it's negative, we jump down there, and then we move back to the outbox. Okay, so this, we just had to reorganize the code a little bit there. So now what's going to happen, instead of doing that crisscross in the middle here, it will just run through the steps here. If it is negative, then it'll jump outside. So we can call step 8 here the end of the main program, and the jump here on step 5 will jump us outside the main program, do 1 extra step, and then insert itself back into the main program here. So this should now work, and it's now 10 steps. So let's see how we go here. 0, send it away, and start again. Okay, so wait until the last case here, because that's when things get interesting. So far so good. Okay. And here we go. Okay, store there. Pick up the 2. We get a negative number, so now we jump all the way down there, pick it up, and then... Beautiful. Okay. We did it. Oh, very cool. It was actually faster in size and speed. Alright, well, I think we're gonna call it here. Oh, the next mission here is actually a coffee break. So let's go ahead and take a coffee break. Let's,
And that, ladies, is how I saved a bundle on my long-distance telephone service.
Oh, what's going on?
Everyone.
Oh, back to work. Okay. We get a news flash? Yep, news flash.
A massive army of machines has surrounded the city. The machines are not moving, and they are not communicating. Local authorities are investigating.
Oh dear, well that does not bode well. But I'm gonna call it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode of A Software Engineer Plays. Thanks again. Bye.